Hello everyone, this is Crystal with Slick Trade, and in this presentation I'm going to go over an introduction to the supply and demand indicator that was just released in the newest file pack for March 2016. Okay, previously we had it was a free indicator for supply and demand called SupDem. But this indicator is very, very cool, okay? It has a lot of different inputs that you can utilize with it. It works great with the Foltron setup. Works great with any of the setups really in the room. But this right here is what I've been using with the Foltron just to help confirm trades. And what you'll see here, these green areas, red areas, and gray areas, like this one down here, these are all part of the supply and demand indicator. Okay, if I go ahead and, oops, bring that up, came up on my other screen. Right here is this indicator. Okay, now I have not gone through all of it, but I wanted to get it out to you guys simply because it was free. It's a very neat one. It was from I think it was like a forum or something that I got to when I went to Baby Pips. I can't remember. Let's see here. Well, it says Forex Hacker is the person that made it, but there was an actual guy that made it. He seemed to be really knowledgeable about quite a few different strategies and such. So far, okay, today is March 3rd, 2016, and so far I really like to have these settings, okay? These are all the default settings. However, I also turned on the zone fibs. And that's what you're going to see over here on the right hand side. I like to have them so I can see the actual strike prices, and that's just what I like so far. Like I said, I haven't gone through all of these and really messed around with them, so feel free to write in the Fleep chat maybe some settings that you prefer, okay, to have on or off. Or I know there's alerts you can turn on, so I haven't really messed with those either. It's really, really cool, okay? Just wanted to show that to you guys. And like I said, I added it to the Foltron setup, and I really, really like it a lot. And here's why. I also, two things. I added the OSMA, the oscillator, okay? So you know my favorite little Osci Flip with the Poppin' Picasso. I haven't been using Poppin' Picasso too much lately. I have been looking at it with the Foltron, okay? So here's the thing. When price hits certain supply and demand zones, okay, it's going to paint a zone on here, okay? Now, normally, your screen is going to look like this, okay? And you can't really get a clear picture over here, and you can't really see those levels so easily. So if you choose this right here, shift end of the chart from right border, it's going to give you that extra space. So you get a little bit clearer picture, at least I feel like it is, okay? Now, the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, and unfortunately I missed this entry, but I've been watching this euro dollar to enter a long position on, and it's just been kind of like right here is where I started to watch it, okay? And the reason why is because we had the Osci Flip headed up, okay? But I was waiting for the moving averages to cross, okay, to the upside. So when you get these little arrows, that's what that means. Those moving averages crossed, okay? But I was looking to enter for a long, just because we've been heading down pretty drastically here now since first week of February, second week of February. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on this right around here, and right here yesterday, oh, it's not going to let me just bring it up really. That's okay. We had the cross right there. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. Right here, or oops, right here. Here's the first cross. I was not at the computer when this happened. I did not have my alerts on, so I didn't get notified. But this was a beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful. Yesterday, this was painting this blue supply and demand zone, okay? And when you see that and prices come down to it, that means there's a chance that price is going to head up. When we already had this oscillator previously flip to the upside, that was my first indication. Hey, all right, it's time to start watching the euro dollar. So what I should have done was turn my alerts on so that the Foltron would tell me when it was time to, enter the trade, because that's all I was waiting for was that cross up. But then yesterday, it kind of headed down a little more, and it started to paint this blue supply and demand zone, okay? And we also, with these pivot levels, we were down at a very, very low support, okay? I believe it was support 2 was what we were at yesterday. We might have been at 1, I can't quite remember. But either way, it started to head up after it hit that zone, and then kind of went to this consolidation, and then the cross occurred, all right? And that's where you got this little arrow. And if you have your alert set to alert you when there's any cross, whether it's against the overall trend or not, this would have alerted you to enter along. So, and you had hours to enter. And we even had a little cross back to the downside, and then boom, right there. Okay, so it was kind of fighting. All right, but look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Headed up. Actually, it broke right through the 200 moving average. Absolutely beautiful. So that's what I mean when I say Osci Flip. I've been entering quite a few trades lately with it, and so far it has not failed me. I've had very little drawdown. I'm on an hourly chart, same as the usual Foltron setup, but yeah, so it was a beautiful, beautiful trade right there. I expect it to head down a bit, but once it retraces down, I'll definitely enter for a long again if we have a cross back up. So that's what I've been looking for. GU was one that I did enter, and again, this supply and demand zone, the blue right here, had painted, okay? And that was a great indication that, yeah, it's going to head up. We had the oscillator flip to the upside, and we had a cross. And this was all within a day, okay? So it was absolutely beautiful. I had set a take profit. I believe I set it right around here, so I missed out on quite a few pips. I could have entered on the retrace down, but I did not. I wasn't at the computer, so it wasn't a big ordeal. Usually I try to trail stop these because the Foltron really brings in a lot of pips. But when you're going against the overall trend, and what I mean by that is see this right here, this 200 moving average, it's headed down. Okay, so when you're going against that trend to enter along, okay, you want to be careful with that. And this Osci Flip with the supply and demand zones really helps to show you, a solid entry. Okay, so again, I mean, you could have entered here if you would have seen that, and boom, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so pretty cool. Let's check out UC, see what it's doing. I really haven't been watching that one too much. this week. So we had, so this was last week. I did see this last week, but I didn't enter. I think I entered later in the week, but it was, I think I just set like a 25 pip, you know, take profit. So anyways, look at that. You had a lot of time to get into that one. You had the Osci Flip down. You were up here in a supply and demand zone. You're in two of them. I hit two here. We've been kind of going back and forth. We're not really in any apparent trend, okay? It's just been kind of in like what I like to call the consolidation, where it just goes, you know, back and forth. There's still plenty of opportunities to gain a lot of pips, but yeah, no actual, you know, apparent trend. So anyways, we had the oscillator flip to the downside here to show a sell. You had price had hit two supply and demand zones to head down, okay? And I mean, you had a lot of time in here to get into that, and then here's where it took its drop. And this week was the heavy drop, okay? So if you were trail stopping, you could have got a very decent number of pips already just from that entry. AU was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I did not enter this, and the reason why was because when this cross occurred to the upside, let me show you this real quick. So here's the cross, here's the Osci Flip up, okay? So now you're waiting for a cross, okay? So you wait, keep checking, every few hours check back, okay? Here was the actual cross. You had plenty of time to get into it. However, I didn't like that we were so close to that 200 moving average. There wasn't any clear trend, so I did not go ahead and enter for that long, but look at that. You could have gained a serious number of pips, okay? Again, absolutely beautiful. You came down here, you hit these supply and demand zones. There's the one here, you did not hit this one. This one was a previous one back here. Hit the supply and demand zone, and had that, you already had the oscillator flip, which was the first indication, and then you had the cross to the upside. So, absolutely beautiful. And, yeah. So that's just a little run through. I know a lot of you have been asking for a video on the oscillator flip with the Foltron. Also, you know, what is this new supply and demand indicator? Well, that's what it is, and it just helps to clearly identify entries. Now, the Foltron is still great just on its own. As you can see, anytime that there's crosses, I mean, you have opportunities. Tons of opportunities to gain a lot of pips with the Foltron. It is my favorite strategy right now. As you know, the Wick Hunter came out. I've been testing that. I like to demo for a minimum of 1 month before I go live, but that seems to bring in some quick pips. You know, you don't really have to watch or anything. It's kind of cool. You're just looking for wicks, so check that out. That was from Lee. Oops, Lee in the room. And he also created the Patriot, which I've been working on the expert advisor for that. It is fully coded. We've been testing for 2 weeks now. I believe next week will probably be the release. We will see. I want to make sure that there aren't any bugs. Obviously, when we first release, you know, you can still run into things, so please report anything that you find that is out of the normal conditions. But it has been working very well. And then Lee also created the, oh goodness, the semaphores. So he really likes the combination of the Wick Hunter and the semaphores together. I know a lot of you are bringing in well over 1,000 pips in a week. Just awesome results. Awesome. I love all the feedback in the room. The member chat has been blowing up. and I love that you guys are sharing, you know, what's working for you and, you know, what's not, you know. Everybody trades differently. That's why we offer so much here at Slick Trade. You know, I try to get things out there for, you know, traders that just do the quick, you know, few minutes. That is not my style, but I still want to cater to all of you the best that I can. A lot of you have asked me what's my favorite right now. Like I said, it is the Foltron, especially with this. I didn't think anything would top the Pop and Picasso for me, but this does. Just because of how clear it is and easy. You know, you can let your trades go and really gain some decent pips. And like I said, I love what's happening with the Wick Hunter, what I've been finding. I love the results of the Patriot so far. But like I said, I like to demo before I go live, before, you know, for at least a month. So the only one I've been actively trading on my live account right now is the Professor for the long-term trades and the Foltron for the kind of daily and weekly trades. Just depends how long they last for, but that's about it. I'm going to work on a series. I've been working on it, but I wanted to at least get this video out to you, but like a little bit better, you know, written post with a series of videos on supply and demand, to hopefully just help you guys out. I've had a couple requests on it, so that will be released here pretty soon. And Divergent is coming out very soon for those of you that trade the quick Nadex binaries, the short little 5 minutes. We have it fully coded. It's being tested right now. I think that's about all. So you guys have a great one, and I will talk to you later.